All right, 6.03 quiz is about being able to kind of visualize when you're rotating a two-dimensional figure about an axis. Now, it's going to form a three-dimensional figure. So what you need to do is just kind of visualize. Notice that this is a rectangle, and we are going to rotate it. Imagine this spinning around this axis. And what shape does it form? So when it is spinning around, it's actually going to form a cylinder. Okay? Now, if it is touching the axis, notice this is touching the axis, it's going to be a solid cylinder. This one, notice that it's not touching the axis. So when you rotate it around, just kind of imagine this rotating, spinning around this axis, there's going to be a hollow spot here. So if it's touching the axis, it'll be solid. If it's not touching the axis, it'll have a hollow or a shell here in the middle. So let's take a look at this one. This is just a real thin rectangle, and if we spin it around this axis, then this is the shape we're going to get. It's going to be a very thin cylinder, and it's going to have this hollow in the middle because it's not touching the axis. Here's some more examples. We have a triangle, and it is touching the axis, and if we spin it around, we're going to get a cone. And now this has some numbers on it. The OHS shows you how to calculate the volume of the cone, but in your quiz, you're only going to have to be identifying the shapes that it's forming. So, for instance, this one, we have almost a rectangle, right? But there's no top. There's no top here. So when we spin this around, we're still going to get a cylinder, but it's going to be a cylinder with an open top because there's no closure here. This one, there's no closure on the bottom. So when we spin this around, we're going to get a half a sphere or a hemisphere. And then this one, this is just oriented a little different horizontally rather than a vertical axis. And so imagine if we spin this around, we're going to get a sphere. So that's mainly all you need to do for a 6.03 quiz is just kind of visualize spinning it around. And remember, if it's not touching the axis, then you will have a hollow center. Hope this helps.